gonna wait just a little bit so more people can join before I start doing anything, so I don't have to repeat myself 1,000 times. Hi. Just gonna wait a few more minutes, seconds. I'm good. How are you doing? Okay, so I'll say what we're cooking, and then if people can like comment as we go for the people that are like just joining in, that'd be great. So I'm gonna make, per request by Jeff, lasagna, because he really, really likes my vegan lasagna, and it's something that I haven't made in a while. So I asked him today, I'm like, what should I make? And that's what he suggested. So that's what I'm doing. How do you can pin the comment? How do you do that? I have no idea how to do that. How do I do that? Someone teach me how to pin a comment. Like, okay, so for the people that join in later that ask what we're making, I'll click it and that'll pin it. Okay, I'll do that. So anyways, we're making lasagna per request of Jeff tonight, because he really likes the lasagna that I make. And I normally just use like a store-bought sauce. Like I just use like, you can just use, like a regular tomato, traditional Prego, or I don't know, Bertolone, whatever the hell those brands are. Like, you can use anything really. Just a traditional like red sauce. I usually use a can, like I said, or a jar. But tonight I'm making my own, which is like a little extra, like more work than it needs to be. But I made this sauce yesterday or 2 nights ago. I don't know, a couple nights ago for Jeff. And like he kept eating the sauce before the pasta I made was ready. And he was really into it. So I'm going to try to just make my own sauce again to use in this recipe. So yeah, I did a lot of the prep work. So I've already got like some stuff done. Jeff did all of this. He chopped my onions and my mushrooms and my basil. So I've kind of done a lot of prep work already. So I guess, yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started and we'll just go from there. So I've got all my windows open because I left the burner on, so it's like smoky in here. So if my smoke alarm goes off, I'm sorry. I hope it doesn't. But anyway, so I'm going to put my pans back on and we're going to start. So this is going to be my saucepan, and then this is going to be my like filling for the lasagna pan. Also, Jeff bought me new pans yesterday because I was sad, and I'm really happy about it. So yeah, all right, so we're going to do, I like to do red onion in my sauce just because it's a little like sweeter. So I'm just going to put that in there. All right, and then in this one, I'm going to put just some white onion. Also, now I feel really bad because like I think I have too many onions, and Jeff chopped all of that, and I don't think I'm going to use it. But I'll save it for something else. Yeah, he cried. It was really cute. And he told me to make sure I don't use any kind of metal on these pans, so I'm going to use this because otherwise I'll ruin these pans, and I don't want to do that because he just bought them for me. Okay, so sauce filling for the lasagna. Cool. And I'm gonna let those like cook for a few minutes because you want them to get like translucent, so you want them to be kind of a little see-through. And I got my big bag of peeled garlic that I got from the Asian store down the street, so I'm gonna put a couple crushed garlic in there. Also, I got a garlic crusher because Jeff got me one, and I'm really excited about it. I love kitchen gadgets. I'm gonna try to just kind of like prop you guys up wherever I'm cooking at the time. And there's probably a more efficient way to do this, but. Yes, he did cry yesterday. He didn't cry today, but I tried to get him to chop my basil, and he had no idea how to do that because I don't think he's ever chopped an herb in his life. But he did it. He did chop it, and he did a great job. I'm really proud of him. Oh man, I'm like really far behind on these comments. I thought they just like kind of updated on their own. I guess not. Oh man, cooking like stresses me the hell out, but it's like at the same time it's very therapeutic, if that makes any sense at all. Like having a million things going at once really does stress me out, and then having a dirty kitchen, which when you're cooking it's inevitable, you're gonna have a dirty kitchen, and like that stresses me the hell out. But cooking, I don't know, while I'm cooking it's great, and then the aftermath of like the cleanup is what stresses me out the most, but I'm not touching the pan with this. I don't know. It's like, it's weird because it is therapeutic to cook, but very, very stressful for me to clean up. So, sorry, grab more garlic. Carrot bacon? I've never had carrot bacon. I've had like a lot of different kinds of vegan bacons, but not that. I make my vegan lox, like my salmon lox, out of carrots. Because the fun thing with like vegan cooking is like, first of all, like regular cooking is like boring to me at this point. It's like vegan cooking is where it's at, because you have to be so creative with what you're making. And like vegan, like a bagel with lox, like which are like smoked salmon slices, like you can make it literally out of carrots and it tastes very similar, which is like to me more impressive than just cooking meat, which, you know, that's already been done. The science is already there. Like you cook it for so long, but like vegan stuff, it's like always growing. Like there's always new stuff to find out, which is really cool. Alright, so I got garlic, onion going. Cool. I'm just got my goal tonight is to make sure I don't burn anything. I think that should be my goal every night cooking. Alright, so I got that going. Onion, garlic, cool. I'm trying to read through the comments to like make sure I'm keeping up with things. Trying my best, okay? I do want to make a YouTube channel. I just haven't found the energy or time to start like recording and editing. And my problem is that like if I like film something versus live, like I will watch it 1,000 times and be like hating every single second of it. And then that just stresses me out more. So it's like doing live is a little easier because I don't have time to stop and like be like, oh my god, do I look, you know, am I talking weird? Am I being okay? I don't know, that kind of thing. Oh, okay. Well, as far as like Jeff can do better thing, trust me, I know. Trust me, I know that. The thing is though, is that there's a million girls that will always be prettier than me. And that's okay. And I'm not trying to be like the best person in the world, and because no one ever will be. There's always gonna be someone better than you. You just have to be in the right time, right place, and be the right person for that person. And so, yeah, I know I can do better, but we work. And I love him, and he loves me, and it's great. So, anyways, so I already did a lot of that one's supposed to go in there. I already did a lot of prep work with this. So these are fresh, organic Roma tomatoes that I peeled by, you boil some water, and I'm just going to put these in here while I'm talking, otherwise my shit's going to burn. So yeah, you peel these by putting a pot of boiling water on the stove, and then you put the tomatoes in there like 30 seconds, and then you take them out, put them in an ice bucket, like a, I don't know, like a pot with some ice in it, and then you just peel them because it comes off really easy after that. And then you just chop them, de-seed them, so like you just scoop out the seeds and then rinse them off to get them all off. And that's how you do that. So got my diced tomatoes. And like I've said before, you can buy your own just regular red tomato sauce. It's not like expensive, and it's not hard to do. Like it's much easier to do that, but like I said, I made this sauce the other night for Jeff, and he was all about it. Like, I had to literally fight him off with a spoon from eating my sauce before, like, our dinner was ready. Okay, so now to this, like, onion mixture, which is, like, starting to burn. So I'm going to put a bag of spinach in here. And just like a little bit at a time because it's going to wilt and get a lot smaller. So you're going to do a little bit at a time. Alright, so this spinach will quickly wilt and turn into stuff, like nothing. It'll just disappear. Alright, so then I got my sauce mixture over here, and what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to put some tomato paste in it. So let me grab that. Okay, so for this I just use just regular organic tomato paste. It has no flavor, it's just crushed tomatoes, whatever. I'm just going to scoop this out into my sauce mixture. It's probably hard to see what I'm doing exactly, but I'm going to put just a little bit of water in this so my onions don't burn. Alright, I'm trying to read comments, sorry. So I'm trying to like read this and do this and this, so sorry if I don't get to your comment, but I'm doing the best I can. Alright, so this. So I got my can of tomato paste in there. And then I'm just going to fill this can with some water to, like, that way I can thin out my sauce. I use filtered water from the fridge. I know it's, like, unnecessary, but... Alright, cool. I'm going to turn my heat up to medium now that I've got, like, so much liquid in there and I don't have to worry about everything, like, burning. So I'm just going to keep... With this one, I'm just going to keep putting spinach in it because the spinach just gets wilted in treats, basically. It's like a joke how vegans will start out with like a bag of spinach like this and then they're left with like one wilted leaf. That's not a joke. It really does like disintegrate. I don't know how, but... Alright. Okay, so I'm just going to mix that. Have I ever had weight loss from being vegan? Yeah. Like, I was never, like, overweight necessarily, but I was very unhealthy. And I lost about 20 pounds that I wanted to lose going vegan. And, like, that, like, it was, like, vegetarian. I never noticed a difference. But as soon as I went vegan is when, like, I really noticed, like, a massive difference. Because, like, cheese milk is super fattening. And I'm not trying to, like, promote, you know, being skinny or anything like that. I'm just trying to say, like, it's a much healthier lifestyle than what I was used to. And that really helped me a lot. Alright, I need to add more water to this. It's pretty thick. But see what I mean about the spinach? See how much I put in there? And, like, magic. It's just, like, super small now. I'm just going to keep adding that. So this whole bag's gone. I'm gonna add a little more water because my onions are starting to like burn a little bit. Spinach and smoothies is awesome. Like it doesn't, you don't taste it at all. And I mean, obviously like put way too much in, you'll taste it, but like you don't taste it. You can put like a whole handful in and it's just like adds iron and I don't know, other vitamins that are good for you. Okay, need more water and my pasta sauce. Convincing your parents to let you go vegan. I would just, I'm trying to think. Try to get them to watch a documentary with you, like Earthlings or What the Health. That way they understand, like, why you're trying to go vegan. But just ask them for things, like, you don't have to ask them for anything crazy. Just be like, hey, like, can you just get me, like, some, I don't know, some simple ingredients so you can make your own food? If they won't cook vegan for you, you know, that kind of thing. Or just like offer to cook one night. That kind of helps. Like, they'll probably be stoked about that. Like, so, but just do the best you can. If your parents won't let you go vegan, you know, for whatever reason, and like you really have trouble with it, just do the best you can. I mean, when you're out with your friends or something, try to eat vegan as much as you can if that's what you want to do. Yes, I do think it's cheaper to be vegan. I really do, because I have gone to the grocery store with Jeff and he buys meat sometimes, and my like vegan version of what he buys is always cheaper. And it's like, I never noticed that before, but now I really, like, I'm noticing like the big difference in price. Like, I definitely have a cheaper diet. Alright, so got spinach, got the sauce, and now I need to season this with something. So let's do, I got like this whole mess going on over here, but I'm gonna do garlic, oregano, and then salt and pepper. I'm like trying to keep up with everything. All right, now I'm gonna turn this to low, like the sauce, because like now that it's boiling, I can just make it low. I'm putting a fuck ton of garlic in here because Jeff and I both love garlic. All right, so that should be good. Ton of oregano. Make a lot of oregano. And my spinach is like getting close to done, so I'll show you what we're gonna do with that next here in just a second. Actually, that's pretty close. So I'm gonna mix that a little bit. I'm gonna throw this on the ground. We'll deal with that later. All right, so the spinach is pretty much done now. So I'm gonna turn that pan off, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let it cool for just a second because I've got other shit to do. And then I need a little sugar for the sauce. Just a little bit. You don't want a whole lot. Just, I kind of sprinkle a little bit on top. Kind of just adds a little bit of sweetness to it. And then I'm going to put a ton of salt because we like salt. Am I going to any park shows? Probably. I don't know which ones yet, but I mean, I'm sure I'm going to go to a couple. I'm kind of like, we kind of live all over the place. I mean, we have like a base home kind of thing, and then it's like we just kind of go all over. I'm going to put a ton of salt in here. What's something quick and cheap that's vegan? One thing that I used to make all the time, I don't know why I don't make it anymore, is like hamburger balls, and it's like croissant dough that you can buy pre-made. Just check if it's vegan. You can just read the ingredients. And then just vegan beef crumbles, like this is one example of like vegan beef crumbles. There's a million in your stores everywhere. Like I can get this pretty much at any major grocery store. But there's a bunch of different brands, but just basically veggie beef crumbles you can use in place of almost every kind of beef crumble dish. Putting this the other day. The sauce is looking good. I'm just trying to think of what else I did. Would you? Sorry, I'm saying sorry. I need to work on that. Okay. Need to like test this out, make sure I got like the seasonings right. It's pretty good. It's a little sweet. I'm gonna add more salt. And then some garlic salt. It's like, I feel like garlic just makes everything great. My day's been good. Just kind of relaxing today. It's kind of my every Sunday. Just chilling. Let's basically season a vegan burger. Hold up. This stuff is like the best seasoning. It looks very meaty, but that's just because it's meant to go on meat. But you don't need to do that. It's like a rib rub. I get this at Walmart, and it's just a really good seasoning. But I put this on like everything. I'm gonna go check on Rory for 1 second. All right, nothing's gonna catch on fire. Give me 1 second. You can bring her. All right, cool. Jeff's watching her. Just... Cool. So that's kind of going. All right. So I'll show you guys what's next in just a second. Okay. Give me just 1 second. Sorry, we're all good. You know, that's like having the realism of having a baby. Okay, so I think the sauce is getting there. So now I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do with our like spinach stuff. Also, that's kind of why I cook so late, like not like traditional dinner time, because we usually try to wait till she goes to sleep because of that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this spinach and I'm going to put it in a blender. Hold on, I'm going to go check on her in a second. Let me get this in the blender. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go check on Rory. Sorry, Jeff was changing her diaper. Okay, so now we've got our spinach, onion, garlic mixture in here. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna put a container of vegan cream cheese in there. And you don't have to use a specific brand, but this one is, I found at Kroger, which is like the same as Food for Less, which is the same as like, I don't know, Ralph's. And you can find like a different brand called Tofutti at most places too. I think even Walmart carries it. So I'll just go ahead and put this in there. Okay. So I'm just gonna scoop this in there. Once I find my other spoon, I've got like, oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm just going to scoop this into my blender. Just like that. And then I'm going to do 1/4 cup of, I'll show you guys one. So this is nutritional yeast, and this is amazing stuff. You can find this at most stores, I think even Walmart, and it's like a cheesy thing. Like it tastes very cheesy, it's very good for you. But yeah, it tastes like cheese. And so I'm gonna put 1/4 cup of that in there. Cool. All right, I saw it. I saw lasagna. I'm pinning it. Hold on. Yes, I did it, I think. All right, so I got nutritional yeast in there, and the next thing is tofu. So hold on one second. So this is tofu, and it's got water in it, and I just spilled that everywhere. Hold on. I'll show you guys in just a second. This is firm tofu, which is what you want to use in like a lot of like cooking. So, because it's like a firmer texture, it holds up better. This is a block of tofu. Looks blah, but tofu like doesn't really have a flavor to it. And the point of that is like you can flavor it like anything. And I was explaining to someone yesterday that like you don't eat just like plain unseasoned chicken breast, right? Like you don't eat it without salt or pepper or like something. And it's the same idea with like vegan cooking. It's like you put whatever seasonings you normally put on something on like tofu, which has no flavor, or something similar textured to what you're going for. So like tempeh or seitan, and ultimately it ends up tasting like what you want it to taste like based on the seasoning. And as long as you get the texture like close, then that's pretty much like gonna be exactly like what you're going for. Okay. So now I got some tofu in there. I'm going to add a little more. So like about half a block of tofu. And this is what it looks like. There's many, many, many different brands. You don't have to use this specific one. I try to buy organic as much as I can. You don't have to. I know that's more expensive. I've definitely used the non-organic kind, but I'm going to use about like half a block. And you just kind of, so like, oops, I got this mess going on. So I've got tofu, I've got vegan cream cheese, I've got my spinach, garlic, onion, and that's going to be my like cheesy filling to what I'm making. So I'm just going to pop the lid on there, and I'm going to start it, and I'm going to run away. It's very loud. Walk away, hold on. It's looking pretty good. Okay, so I think that's pretty much done. Let me check on the sauce. Give me 1 second. That's pretty good. Still needs more salt. I'm gonna add a little more garlic and a little more salt. And maybe even like another can of tomato paste. I feel like that wouldn't hurt. That's the thing is like if you mess up with something and you add too much of something, so like I think I added a little too much sugar, it's a little too sweet. Just add more of like something else that like has no flavor. If I can find my can opener, it's somewhere around here. Yeah, the shirt I'm wearing is from Hot Topic. Okay, so I just added another can of the tomato paste to that, and then I'm just going to add a little more salt, and I think that should do what we're trying to do. And then after that, we're pretty close to like, so like this seems like it's really hard. This seems like a lot of work, and like I said, you don't have to make your own tomato sauce. You can just use a jar. This seems like a lot of work, but really, it's really not. It's just like, you know, I'm doing like several things at once, and I'm trying to stop and talk to you guys and all that, so it makes it a little more difficult than if I were just like focusing on what I'm doing. Do a little more salt. It probably looks like I'm putting a lot in, but it really doesn't like produce that much salt. Okay. So I think we're pretty good on that. So now we can start like actually building our lasagna, which this is like the easy part. So once you get all that done. So for the meat, like meaty part, I'm gonna use the Beyond sausage. You don't have to use this. You can use like vegan beef crumbles. You can use nothing. I mean, you don't have to have like a meaty thing in it, but like I like a traditional like cheesy meaty lasagna, so I'm gonna use the Beyond sausage, which I found at Kroger recently. So I'm just gonna chop that. Sorry, I'm like just chopping something. Trying to read what y'all are doing. I make, so I don't know how to make lasagna noodles from scratch. I've never done it, never tried, probably won't try unless I'm trying to be really like extra. I just use like Kroger brand oven ready lasagna. Just check to make sure it doesn't have eggs in it, because I picked up a ready, like oven ready lasagna noodle earlier and it actually did have eggs in it, so I put it back. But just read the label, takes 2 seconds, and that's kind of like, what, you can just pick something that's like right next to it, probably is vegan. Alright, 2 more of those. So we're pretty close to assembling everything. Yeah, if you want to look at these, they look like sausage. They've got like a casing on them and everything. Like it tastes like sausage. Like I had Jeff try it the other night and he was like pretty about it. He likes all the Beyond Meat products. Okay, cool. Got all that chopped. So now we're gonna start layering our lasagna. So I got just a regular old like baking dish right here. And we're gonna just first put a layer of our tomato sauce in it. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna bring the dish over here because this is gonna be too difficult. Okay. So we're just gonna take our sauce that we just made and we're just gonna put a small layer on the bottom. Might take a second. Okay. Make sure it's like completely covered on the bottom. Okay, so we got a layer of the pasta sauce now. And then we're just gonna do a layer of the noodles. Actually, I think, hold on, I'm trying to think. Yeah, we're gonna do a layer of the noodles and then we'll do a layer of our like cream sauce that we already made. So, just pasta noodle, or lasagna noodle, just lay it on top. Doesn't have to be perfect, like I always find that they never fit quite right. So I do like one on the end, but I break it. So hold on. So yeah, so this is what we're working with right now. And then I'm gonna do another layer of the sauce. This is a small layer, you don't need a whole lot. Because we're gonna use that cream stuff that we already made. So this is like a creamy, like spinach ricotta type thing that we just made. And we're just gonna like ladle that on top. Okay, so this is what we got now. So we got our creamy spinach layer, and then I'm gonna take a bunch of the mushrooms that Jeff just like chopped earlier for me. Because, you mean, the thing with lasagna is that you don't have to do everything exactly like I'm doing. You can add whatever you like. Like, we like mushrooms, so we're going to put mushrooms in ours. We like, the Beyond sausage, so we're going to use that. But you don't have to do it exactly the way we're doing it. You can add, like, if you like zucchini, or if you like bell peppers, which I hate. I hate bell peppers. It just depends on, like, what you're into. So now I've got a layer of mushrooms. We love mushrooms here. And then I'm going to do another layer of the noodles. All right. Cool. All right. Just layering noodles on here. Let me try. There we go. Then we're going to do another layer of the red sauce. Then we're going to do more of that, another layer of the creamy spinach stuff that we made. Okay, so we got that, and then we're going to do another layer of the noodles. Sorry, it's very repetitive. I'm going to squish it down a little bit so we have more room for our other stuff. Okay, I'm going to add more of those mushrooms. Okay, so now I got this layer going on. Sorry, like I said, very repetitive, which is the point, so that's lasagna. And then we're just gonna do, I wonder if I have enough room for stuff. Hold on. I'm gonna do my sausage layer next. So here's the Beyond sausage that I chopped earlier. Just gonna layer that on top. I'm gonna lay it flat, like all the pieces flat. Lasagna is meat cake. Well, we're making vegan meat cake basically. So this is Beyond sausage. Looks like meat, tastes like meat. Pretty amazing. Alright, I'm gonna squish that all down. And we're gonna do our last layer of noodles. I'm gonna squish them down. And it's okay if like the noodles break, like no one's gonna notice that once it's all done. All right, got that. And then I'm just gonna put my last layer of the tomato sauce on. And then I think I have a little more of that like cheesy stuff, so I'm gonna put just a little bit more of that on top. Yeah, that should be good. Cool. And then that's pretty much it, except we're gonna top it with cheese and basil, and then that'll pretty much be the end of it. And then it'll just get foiled and go in the oven. So, these are two different brands of vegan cheese you can use. I've got Daya, which is like new and improved, and then I've got the Vegan Gourmet, and these both are amazing, so I got both of them, and I'm just going to pour that on top after I put my basil on. So I got my handful of basil that Jeff chopped earlier, and I'm going to mix that into the sauce, because otherwise it'll burn, so I want to mix that in a little bit. very stuffed lasagna. Alright, cool. Need scissors for that. Okay. So, just gonna pour that on top. And pour the second one on top. Because I love it when it's like super, super cheesy. Alright, cool. That should be pretty good. And I'm gonna grab the foil, but you can see now we've got this massive lasagna. And you can see I don't think you can see that. You cannot see that at all, but we've got a very thick, massive lasagna now. And then all you do is you wrap it in tin foil, and then we're just gonna pop it in the oven for 30 minutes. And then after the 30 minutes, all you do is you take off the foil and then you cook it for, I believe, like an additional like 20 minutes. And then that's it. And then you're done. So yeah, I just showed you guys how to make a vegan lasagna. And that's pretty much it. So now I'll try to see any last comments real quick that I can answer question-wise. And then I will be done. So let me put this in the oven real quick. Cool. So now it's in the oven, like I said, foil it, 30 minutes on the oven. There it is. And we're done. So does anybody have any questions on what I just made? Because I'm not really good at keeping up with like posting recipes and stuff because busy, got a kid, doing all that. So, okay, cool. Amazing, loving all the vegan tips. Alright, cool. Well, if you guys have any questions later, just DM me. I can't promise I will respond to you. I cannot promise that I'll see everything. I'll do the best I can. But yeah, so now I'm gonna go chill for 30 minutes and relax for a minute and let that cook. So, alright, thank you for joining me, and I will hopefully see you guys next week, Sunday. I'm gonna try to make this a regular thing. So, alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye.